Well, good morning, Larimer County. Welcome. Today is Tuesday, October 6th, 2024. We are gathered for our weekly administrative matters meeting. As is our tradition, please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all very much. My name is John Kafalis, Commissioner from District 1, joined by my Commissioner colleagues, Kristen Stevens from District 2, Jody Shattuck McNally from District 3. Across the way, we have Lindsay from the Clerk and Recorder's Office taking notes, minutes, as well as recording the meeting. And as you all know, it's a public meeting that folks can watch and listen to. We also have our County Manager, Lorenda, and two other really good, important folks. Tom from the Commissioner's Office, well, both of them, and Sarah. So, with that, we'll begin with public comment. I have been informed that there is no one signed up in person. No one has called in. So I'd like to ask you to kind of recruit your neighbors to come in and offer us public comment so we can hear from the folks we represent about what's important to them. We haven't had much public comment in the last number of weeks, so hopefully that'll change. Let me just check before we close. Is there anybody at this time who may not have signed up who wishes to offer public comments who's not here for one of our discussion items? Okay, then I believe it's appropriate to close public comment. Better get my glasses on. And we'll now move on to approval of the minutes. Let's see, Commissioner Stevens, would you do us the honors, please?
Yes, Mr. Chair. I move to approve the minutes for the week of July 29th, 2024.
Thank you. That is a proper motion. Colleagues, any discussion, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's 3-0. Moving on to upcoming schedule, review of our upcoming schedule, the commissioners. Sarah, please.
This is the Commissioner's schedule for August 12th through the 17th, 2024. On Monday, August 12th, from 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., there will be a work session with Leslie Ellis, Director of Community Planning, Infrastructure, and Resources in the Commissioner's Conference Room on the second floor. From 12 to 1 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally will participate in the virtual Colorado Forest Health Council Leveraging Resources Committee meeting. From 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., there will be land use items with the Development Review Team. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, will be in the hearing room on the first floor or virtually via Zoom. On Tuesday, August 13th, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., there will be an Administrative Matters meeting in the hearing room on the first floor. From 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m., Commissioner Stevens may participate in the Virtual Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act Improving Public Transit Mobility and Accessibility Roundtable meeting. From 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m., there will be administrative direction to county management in the Sprague Lake Conference Room on the second floor. On Wednesday, August 14th, from 9:30 a.m. to 10:45 a.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may participate in the virtual Suicide Fatality Review meeting. From 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis will attend the Regional Workforce Development Review meeting. Regional Workforce Development Board meeting. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it'll be at the Employment Services of Weld County at 315 North 11th Avenue, Building B in Greeley, or virtually via Microsoft Teams. From 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may participate in the virtual National Association of Counties Environment, Energy, and Land Use meeting. From 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., there will be a work session with Laura Walker, Human and Economic Health Services Director, in the Commissioner's Conference Room on the second floor. From 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., there will be a Commissioner/Planning Commission work session. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it'll be in the hearing room on the first floor or virtually via Zoom. On Thursday, August 15th, from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., Commissioner Kafalis may participate in the Virtual Housing Catalyst Board of Commissioners meeting. From 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally will participate in the Counties and Commissioners Acting Together 2024 Summer Retreat. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it'll be in the Gunnison County Public Library at 1 Court Street in Gunnison, or virtually via Zoom. From 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., Commissioner Stevens may participate in the virtual Middle Income Housing Authority Development and Real Estate Subcommittee meeting. From 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may attend the Land Stewardship Advisory Board meeting at the Horsetooth Area Information Center at 4200 West County Road 38E in Fort Collins. From 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., Commissioner Cavalis may attend the Board of Health meeting. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it'll be at 1525 Blue Spruce Drive in Fort Collins or virtually via Zoom. On Friday, August 16th, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally will participate in the Counties and Commissioners Acting Together 2024 Summer Retreat. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it'll be at the Gunnison County Public Library at 1 Court Street in Gunnison or virtually via Zoom. From 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may participate in the virtual Colorado Fire Commission Prescribed Fire Subcommittee meeting. From 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may attend the United States Forest Service Region 2 Leadership and Northern Colorado Partners meeting at the United States Forest Service Rocky Mountain Regional Office at 1617 Cole Boulevard in Lakewood. On Saturday, August 17th, from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., Commissioners Cavalis and Shattuck McNally will attend the Larimer County/Colorado Fruit and Vegetable Growers Association NOCO Fruit and Vegetable Farm Hop at 1525 Blue Spruce Drive in Fort Collins.
Thank you kindly, Sarah. Colleagues, do you have any questions, comments, observations? Commissioner Shattuck McNally.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, team, for all the work that you do. I just want to add, in case I end up attending with others, even though it's more of a social event, as I'm attending the Fort Collins Symphony, a patron garden symphony, and just want to make sure that's from 6 to 7:30 on Thursday, August 15th. And then on the 14th, just in case others show up, I'm at the Wellington Safe Routes celebration in Wellington from 4:30 to 5, and then, or maybe even 5:30, and then I'll come to the Planning Commission thing. So I just want, and that's, I believe that's at the library, but I don't have much, and that's from 4:30 to 5.
Thank you. Is there anything else?
No, sir.
Commissioner Stevens, do you have any comments or adjustments?
I do not have any adjustments, thank you.
Oh, I have one other.
So you do have something else?
Yeah, one other. The lower board meeting on Tuesday, August 13th has been canceled, and we'll be holding it in September. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. The only minor considerations that I would offer, one is that the Saturday, August 17th, the NOCO fruit and the farm hop event that I've signed up for, I may need to change that to a May. I'm realizing that my own little backyard farm needs a lot of tending to, and I haven't been able to harvest and do things properly, so I may need to actually do some farming, at least in the backyard. So maybe a May from a will. And then I'm not sure what my schedule looks like on, I appreciate the reminder about the safe routes to school in Wellington on the 14th. I may try to go to that unless I think it's all packed that day too. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for all your good work. Moving on, consent agenda. That's me. So it's a short one, so you'll all be happy to hear that. Consent agenda is typically administrative routine stuff that we must attend to on a weekly basis. We have the option as commissioners of pulling something off the agenda. We also can speak to something and keep it on the agenda, but maybe say a few words about it. So that's what the consent agenda is. If folks are interested in the details, they can access the information online. All of the details the documents, etc., are there. But again, this is administrative, routine, no perceived controversy. That's always nice. So I'll go through that for the record. The first category is abatements. There are 3 items listed there. Petition for abatement or refund of taxes, and this is all for, these 3 are for tax year 2023, and they have to do with a refund amount that exceeds $10,000. So that's the first 3 items. The next category is agreements. The first one, and we've discussed this before, is an IGA or intergovernmental agreement concerning the Prairie Ridge Addition. Just a bit of a description. The 140-acre Prairie Ridge Addition is being acquired by the City of Loveland with partnership funding from the City of Fort Collins, Great Outdoors Colorado, and Larimer County. Larimer County's contribution is $400,000 from our open space sales tax dollars towards the acquisition. This was approved by us July 30th, and the IGA outlines the funding and management responsibilities of the parties, and also a conservation easement is involved. Again, the dollar amount is $400,000, and this is, if you know where the Prairie Ridge natural area is, Loveland, west side. There's a parcel of land that will, on the south side of it, I believe, that will be added. So those of us who enjoy open space are probably happy about that one. I was going to say by a show of hands, but no, we won't go there. I'm not sure why I'm feeling a little bit perky this morning. I hope you'll just, it's good to see all my friends in Human Services and all those farmers market folks and Tony. Next is liquor licenses. Aha. Liquor license renewal, Hilltop General Store, and Antiques LLC, approval and issuance, retail liquor store. This is up at Red Feather Lake. Second, we have a special event liquor license permit 6%. Livermore Summer Celebration in Livermore, Colorado at the Community Hall. A special event permit 6% approval and issuance. Moving on to miscellaneous, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items, stipulations, and the stipulation is an adjustment in the property tax value agreed upon by the property owner and the assessor's office. So there are 6 of those stipulations. And then the final item under miscellaneous is a report that we receive quarterly, Human Services Expense Report, quarter ending June 30th, 2024. These are the dollars that we spend on a variety of safety net, human services related programs that range everything from aged, needy, and disabled to supplemental nutrition assistance program, Colorado Works, and on and on. So that is that one. And the details of that, I think the total dollar amount added up to about $31 million or so, if my memory serves me. So that's the consent agenda. Do either of my esteemed colleagues wish to remove anything?
I do not, Mr. Chair.
Would you please offer the motion, Commissioner Shaddock McNally?
I move to approve the consent agenda for August 6, 2024.
Great, thank you. Proper motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that passes 3-0. Let's see. It does not appear that we have any commissioners' guests. Therefore, we can go on to our discussion items. And the first discussion item is a proclamation declaring this week National Farmers Market Week. And I think, who's going to speak to that? Maggie. Welcome, please. Welcome. If you would be kind enough to identify yourself for the record, and we look forward to listening to what you have to share.
My name is Maggie Switzer, and I'm the market manager for the Larimer County Farmers Market.
Great. Would you like to share with us? And then we will do a reading of the proclamation, and I'm sure we'll do a photo op and all of that.
Okay. So on behalf of the Larimer County Farmers Market, the Fort Collins Farmers Market, and the Winter Farmers Market, whose managers are also represented here with us today, I'd like to extend my gratitude to the county commissioners for their continuing support of our efforts and for the efforts of our staff and volunteers at our markets. When supporting local farmers markets, you are supporting local farmers, small businesses, and aspiring entrepreneurs. And we also would like to thank the general public as well for their continued support and for helping to make farmers markets a successful, inclusive, and welcoming community event for all.
That was very succinct. Thank you, Maggie. Anyone else wish to add anything to that before we go to the proclamation? Okay. I believe Commissioner Stevens, you're up.
Okay.
Please
thank
read
you.
the proclamation. Thank you.
I will. This is a proclamation for Larimer County Farmers Week, August 4th through 10th, 2024. Whereas Larimer County farmers and ranchers provide community members with access to healthful, locally and regionally produced foods through farmers markets, which are expanding and evolving to accommodate the demand for a diverse array of agricultural products. And whereas farmers markets and other agricultural direct marketing outlets provide infrastructure to assist in the distribution of farm and value-added products, thereby contributing approximately $9 billion each year to the U.S. economy. And whereas farmers markets serve as significant outlets by which small to medium, new and beginning, and veteran agricultural producers market agricultural products, generating revenue that supports the sustainability of family farms and the revitalization of rural communities nationwide. And whereas the Larimer County Board of County Commissioners recognizes the importance of expanding agricultural opportunities that assist and encourage the next generation of farmers and ranchers, generate farm income to help stimulate business development and job creation, build community connections through rural and urban linkages. And whereas the Larimer County Board of County Commissioners recognizes the importance of improving access to federal nutrition benefit programs such as the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, and the Women, Infants, and Children Program, WIC. And whereas the Larimer County Climate Smart Future Ready Plan calls for supporting and expanding regional agriculture as well as supporting and expanding access to local food markets. Now, therefore, to further awareness of farmers markets' contributions to Larimer County life, the Larimer County Board of County Commissioners do hereby proclaim the week of August 4th through 10th, 2024 as Larimer County Farmers Market Week in conjunction with the observance of National Farmers Market Week. I call upon Larimer residents and visitors to celebrate farmers markets with appropriate observance and activities. And would you like the motion as well?
Yes, let's put the motion on the table, then we'll have an opportunity to offer comments. And
I move to approve the proclamation declaring August 4th through 10th, 2024 as National Farmers Market Week.
thank you, Commissioner. Well done. Commissioner Shattuck McNally, would you like to begin to offer some thoughts?
Yes, I would. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you all for being here today. It was great to see some of you touring around at the Fair and Rodeo at the CSU Open, the 4-H Open class activities, and I'm so glad I did because I got to see my neighbors' children's entry, so that was exciting. But I have to say, how much I enjoy our farmers markets. And Maggie, welcome. And I know you've been here for a while, but you've done some great things and fun things at the farmers market. And I just wanted to kind of give a shout out to you for your energy and your innovation and just what a great addition. And just thank you for being here today. I think farmers markets, besides just being for food security, environmental benefits, and supporting local farmers, it's such a community builder and connector. I have to say, I have tried some new products, seen some new ideas. I have to stop buying house plants from the gal who upcycles the plants with the things she finds at thrift stores, the containers and the vases. I've bought 3 now, so I am not allowed to buy another plant. So for those of you out there who loves your plants, it's pretty cool what they do to recycle and upcycle those items. So I have to say, I think we have one of the best farmers markets in Colorado. It's fun. It's exciting. There's always something fun to do for families, for everyone. I appreciate what we do for older adults to have access, and I think there's a lot of things that people don't realize what's important that farmers markets do for economic driving and for smaller farmers. And I just wanted to say thank you. I know that's a passion for some of you, and I appreciate all the work that you do. And I'm really glad we're taking a moment to recognize them. And I encourage everyone, if you haven't been to any farmers markets, especially come and check out the Larimer County Farmers Market, because it is well done and an exemplar for how to do a community building, farmer supported, environmentally focused farmers market. And that's all I have to do. And I'm proud of our proclamation today. Thank you. And thanks for all being here.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Stevens, thoughts?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Maggie, and everyone who's here and who supports the farmers market. It certainly is a place to be if you go on any Saturday morning. It's teeming with people. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of energy. It is kind of the Saturday morning experience, I would say, in Fort Collins. So I'm always happy to come. I agree with Commissioner Shannock McNally. There are a lot of great vendors that sell agricultural products, but there are also a lot of really fun things to sort of shop and browse. A lot of artisans, a lot of pre-made food that's delicious. So it's a great experience. One thing that I really appreciate, not only the impact on local farmers, which it's a very much of a benefit to be able to sell their produce in this way. But the programs that we have that help people who have food insecurity with the farmers market, programs that were listed as SNAP, some people know them as food stamps or food assistance benefits, but people get double, is that right? Double their SNAP benefits at the farmers market. So that goes a long way when you get double and you're getting fresh, healthy, locally grown food. So that's wonderful. And same with WIC, the Women, Infants, Children program, another really important program to support pregnant, nursing mothers and young children with good, high quality produce. So, and then there's a program for seniors, is that right? So there's a seniors program. And then I think that the food bank comes in at the end and buys produce that hasn't been purchased. So there are a myriad of ways that we're helping people with food insecurity and helping people stay healthy. And so between the economic impact and helping our community members stay healthy, you guys are doing a huge, huge service to our community. So thank you very much. I'm delighted to support this proclamation and really happy that you're here today to celebrate with us.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'll add a couple of thoughts. Certainly agree with my colleagues. I appreciate their comments. I think I would just add a couple of things. One is that we wouldn't be able to do this without all the amazing volunteers. So I think it's important to acknowledge their contributions. The Master Gardeners program is really great. And someday, if I live long enough, I'd like to train and sign up to be a Master Gardener. At least get the certificate. I kind of know how to do it, but I bet I could learn a thing or two from folks like Tony and Allison and a bunch of other folks. So the volunteer aspect of this is really, really important and vital. As was mentioned, when you go to the market on Oak Street there on Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., I believe it's one of the oldest Larimer County farmers markets. I think, and maybe Maggie said this, but I may not have heard, taller people need to pull the mic up closer so I can hear. But I think it started in 1976. So that's also important to note. And I was also two more things. One, I was going to mention too, and maybe it's already been stated, that This is an amazing opportunity for local producers, local growers. It's part of making our food system more resilient, stronger. Buying food that doesn't come from California, perhaps those kinds of things. So it's also a great opportunity for folks to sell their produce, and I think we've made great progress over the years in supporting vendors, a variety of things. The music is always great. I love the accordion, playing our friends who play the accordion every time. And the last thing I'll mention is I hope we get our signals straight. I'm supposed to be doing story time on Saturday, 10:30, and I certainly don't want Allison or anyone else rushing off to the Poudre Library to get a couple of books. But as a backup, I may bring a few. So that's all I have to say. I think it's best for me to be quiet now. Lorinda, would you like to share something before we do before we vote on the proclamation and do our little photo op?
I'll just add that this community has a history of agriculture, and the farmers market really honors that. The local producers that get to provide their all of their goods, whether it's something that they made or something that they grew. The sense of community at the farmers market is always amazing. If you haven't been to a farmers market, you should find one and go. Certainly ours is one of the best. We may be a little biased, but farmers markets in general are really great ways to honor the local producers in our community. So we appreciate your efforts and all that you do, all the wonderful benefits that you do for the SNAP benefits and WIC and those other programs are not common and are really special in our community. So go to the farmers market, I would say.
Thank you, Lorinda. There is a motion on the table to approve a proclamation declaring this week as National Farmers Market Week. Any further discussion, colleagues?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That passes 3-0. Let's take a 5-minute pause. We have these nice little proclamations. I think we have 3, and we'll take a picture or 2, and then we'll resume with the other folks. Right. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome once again. We took a break to take some photographs of a proclamation regarding National Farmers Market Week. That was exciting and fun and important. We'll now move on to our next discussion item, another proclamation declaring August as Child Support Awareness Month, another really important issue that the county does its best to address. Oh, and we have Miss Fuel. Welcome. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
Ah,
Good morning.
good morning. Oh,
Am I good?
yes,
Have you
please
turned it over?
begin. And you know the routine.
Good morning, commissioners. Good morning, County Manager Volker. Thanks for having me today. My name is Vanessa Fuel. I'm with the Department of Human Services. I serve as the division manager for the Benefits and Community Support Division. The Benefits and Community Support Division provides public assistance benefits to community members in need. Among those benefits are Medicaid. We heard about the SNAP program with our partners here with the Farmers Market. Really excited to see them, our partners in food security, food production, and distribution. So it was wonderful to hear their connection to our programs and services as well. We also offer cash assistance and some case management services. A lesser known program in the Benefits and Community Support Division, but no less significant, is our Child Support Program. And we are here, the team in green, are here today to celebrate with you because August is Child Support Awareness Month. And I did want to just mention we have a client who's going to be joining us via phone. I think the details are set up to call her to share her story and experiences with our program as soon as we're finished with our formal presentation, if you will. So I'll set the stage and then I'll pass it over to my team to share with you some of their amazing accomplishments. But to set the stage about the child support program, child support is a critical aspect of child rearing that significantly impacts a child's life. It provides financial stability for children and helps ensure that the child has access to the necessary resources for their development and well-being. Child support also has important emotional and psychological impacts on a child's life. Children who receive support from both parents are more likely to have positive relationships with both parents. They're also less likely to experience negative effects of parental conflict and separation. In Larimer County, we have a team of 30 staff who support these families. So this is just a representation of those 30 staff. They help families navigate the initiation of child support orders, collecting on those orders, modifying orders as household circumstances change. And beyond that, they utilize the Science of Hope framework to support clients, both clients that have an obligation to pay child support and those who receive those funds. They collaborate with other programs to wrap around those families and help them reduce any barriers that they may be experiencing. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Nancy Kelly to share with you the specifics about the accomplishments of this top-notch team of professionals.
Thank you, Vanessa. Welcome, Nancy.
Hi, Commissioners, and good morning. My name is Nancy Kelly. I am a Deputy Division Manager for Benefits and Community Support, and Child Support is one of the programs that I support. I did want to talk just briefly about some of our accomplishments in child support in 2023. So we collected a little over $18.5 million last year. All of that money goes out to our families to support the children in our communities. We opened 889 new cases, established 187 new child support obligations, and modified 314 child support orders. With all of that, we supported approximately 6,000 families over the course of the year. The other things that we did with child support last year is we were able to get some grant funding from the state under the Improved Payment and Child Success or IMPACTS grant, which allows us to provide direct supportive payments to parents who have a child support obligation in order to help them reduce their barriers to paying their child support obligation. With that grant, we also will be starting to offer our first nurturing parenting classes next month in order to provide trauma-based parenting classes to some of our parents who really just need a little bit of assistance in becoming safe and healthy parents for their children. We are also partnering with our state child support division on the safe access for victims to economic security, and really working to make access to child support safer for victims of domestic violence. There are certain points in a child support case that are a higher risk for people who have experienced domestic violence, and we're working with the state to identify those areas, working with lived experienced survivors, and identifying ways that we can make this a safer and more accessible program to really help support those families. Child support is really striving to provide holistic services to support the entire family, the parent who has the child, the parent who has an order to pay child support, and most importantly, the children. We're partnering with our Employment First program, with our TANF Temporary Assistance to Needy Families program, and our Child, Youth, and Family Division to help really kind of look at child support as a way of preventing poverty and abuse and neglect in our community. So I think we have a client who is going to talk about her experience with our targeted barrier reduction program and some of the services that we've been able to provide to her.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. Your call has been forwarded to...
That's fine. I can talk about.
Well, actually, I have a suggestion. It would be great to hear from that person if we can make the connection. I don't know if there's anyone else, if there was other information you wanted to share, or anyone else from your team who would like to say a few words. But otherwise, we can also switch and do the proclamation to give more time to connect with this individual.
That sounds great.
Oh, okay. Sarah, try it one more time, and then, unless there are other folks from the team who wish to offer some wisdom, we'll go to the proclamation.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Is this Katrina Calderon?
Yeah, this is her.
Hey, Katrina. This is John Cafalas, County Commissioner. We're in the Administrative Matters meeting, and we'd like to hear what you would like to share with us about child support.
Okay. Where would you like me to start? Do you want me to start how I ended up in the program with Charlie? Or
I would like you to determine what is the most important information for us to hear in a way that we can take away something that will help inform our decision making.
okay. Well, first off, I didn't even know that this program was available. I'm so grateful to have this program. If it wasn't for this program, I wouldn't be able to work because my job depends on me having a license. So, due to not paying the child support, I lost my license. I didn't even know that I didn't have the license. I was put in the program with Charlie, and luckily I was able to get my license back, and I was able to do my job Instacart. That's what I do right now. I'm waiting on child care so that way I can work more to make more income. So that way I can pay the child support. But I'm so grateful. The funding has helped me tremendously. Pay utilities and my trash bill, and I'm ever so grateful for it. I don't know what I would have done without this program. So.
Katie, thank you. That was really helpful. It appears that there's somebody with you that may want to offer some additional comments.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, actually, that just makes everything better.
Yeah, that's my 3-year-old. I've got 3 boys that I'm trying to take care of on top of, if I had the money to pay my child support, I would. I want to pay my child support. I want to support my daughter. It's not like I have money and I'm not paying it. I want to. So as soon as I can get on track, my 3-year-old will be in preschool, and I'm hoping to find something more stable, because Instacart isn't as stable as I need it to be. So as soon as I can get, different work, then I'm going to do everything in my power to get my child support paid. But for now, so grateful to have this program.
Thank you, Katie. And do you have a moment, in case my fellow commissioners, there are 3 of us here, might have a question or some kind of affirmative feedback for you? Do you have a moment?
Yeah, no problem. Oh, yeah.
Colleagues, do you have any questions or kind words to say?
I would just say you're doing a great job, Katrina. Keep forging ahead. It's difficult to be a single parent, and I think that what you talked about of being able to pay utilities and get your license back so you can work is really important. For people to understand how important these dollars are to get into the hands of the caregivers of the children. So keep doing a good job, and we support you, and we're glad that this team here supports you as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I've been in this boat for a long time, like trying to juggle everything and take care of my kids and pay bills and pay as much as I can. Like, I know, $5-10 isn't a lot for child support, but I'm like seriously doing everything I can. I don't do anything for myself. Like, my every single dollar, I'm wearing the same clothes from 5-6 years ago. Like, my 100% focus is on my kids and trying to pay my child support, and I know that the $350 a month that I'm supposed to be paying, I'm pretty sure that's as low as I can get it to go. And I'm grateful to even have that amount. Most people are paying $500 a month. I mean, depending on their income, but I'm really hoping to get back on track and just pay what I can. I was already selected to get the my license suspended again. And thank God I had Charlie there to send in the notice of compliance, because my job depends on me having a license. Instacart basically put my account on a hold when they found out my license was suspended, and I wasn't able to work for a whole month because I didn't have a license. So things are going to change soon, because I have to make sure to get this paid. So.
Well, hang in there.
Thank you, Katrina. Commissioner Shattuck McNally, any thoughts, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Just want to wish you all the best, Katrina, to you and all of your children, your family, and I encourage you just to stay connected to the department and the resources. They're there to help you and help guide you and navigate. And I believe in you, and I'm sure that you can accomplish all these goals. And I wish you all the best. And I know our department and our staff are there to support you. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it.
And Katrina, this is John Kafalas. Just it seems to me, based on what you shared with us, and thank you for trusting enough and kind of being a little bit vulnerable to share some of your personal story. Thank you for that. It seems that you're definitely on a good path, a good road to getting things back on track. So good for you. We're going to read the proclamation now, and if you want to listen to that, I imagine you could, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so we're now going to do the proclamation. I believe, Commissioner, it's you, right?
Yes, it is, sir.
Oh, would you please do the honors?
Katrina, this is Larimer County Commissioner Jody Shattuck McNally, and I'm going to read the Larimer County Proclamation for Child Support Awareness Month. Whereas financial and emotional support from both parents is an important component of child success, and whereas children also receive support from caregivers, which helps play an important role in supporting the health and well-being of the child, and whereas the support of parents, extended families, caregivers, and the community helps children grow into healthy, productive adults. And whereas Larimer County is committed to promoting the health and well-being of all of its children by providing a variety of family-centered child support services to help ensure that parents receive child support on a regular and timely basis. And whereas the payment of child support contributes to improve parent-child relationships, improve educational attainment for children, and reduce reliance on public assistance programs. And whereas this month, we salute those parents and caregivers who provide financial and emotional support for their children and honor the 27 child support professionals who we honor the 27 child support professionals who collected more than $17 million for families in Larimer County in the federal fiscal year 2023. And whereas Larimer County wishes to educate families about the availability of child support services and to continuously enhance the services that it provides with innovative initiatives aimed at meeting the needs of all family members. Therefore, be it resolved that we, the Board of County Commissioners of Larimer County, to hereby proclaim August 2024 as Child Support Awareness Month in Larimer County.
Thank you, Commissioner. Please offer the motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the proclamation declaring August 2024 as Child Support Awareness Month.
Great. Excellent. Proper motion. Colleagues, any further discussion, comments? Yes?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Chair.
No need to be sorry.
Okay. I just wanted to say a thank you to the team, Nancy, and all of you who collect these dollars for these families. I mean, Nancy said it was $18.5 million last year that helped 6,000 families. This is a huge deal, and we're really grateful for the work that you're doing. I mean, helping people, prevent these dollars prevent poverty, abuse, and neglect, and they give peace of mind to the people who are trying to take care of these children. So, it's hard being a parent under any circumstances. It's really, really hard when you don't know if you can keep your lights on, or pay your rent that month, or pay for for healthy food for your children. So, you are directly helping families in our community be successful and be healthy and stay together and not live in extreme poverty. And that's such a huge deal. I think, the work that you do is not as noticed as some of the other, work that we do for families. And it's vitally, vitally important. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for the work that you're doing. It's really important that we try to attack child poverty in our community. It's a scourge, and it's something that the work that you're doing really, really contributes to that largely. And it's also dollars that honestly we don't necessarily have to take from our funds to be able to do that. And we're holding accountable the parent that needs to pay that child support, and that's important too for everybody to do their part. So good work. I'm sure it's not easy work trying to get these dollars to these parents, but it is really important. And please know that we recognize that, and we thank you for that work.
Commissioner, anything?
Yes, I would. Thank you. Nancy and Vanessa and Heather and the whole team, thank you for being here today. And thank you for the work that you do. It is so critically important. As we know, the more we get upstream and support our children and our families at a younger age, and just helping them with these vital resources and needs. We've been saying it all morning. This is really the foundation for success for these children and these families. And it's mental health, emotional, social, academic, economic. It's all the things. And this is one area that I think a lot of folks don't realize that the county provides services, and what a strong team. And so it's $18.5 million for last year. That's a very strong number. And to think about what if that hadn't been collected, how that would look for that future and those environments and times for children. I appreciate the courageous mom online sharing her story and knowing that we get to hear from folks and hear their stories and how this has been so impactful. And we know these families want to support their children, and the children, it's that improved parent-child relationship that I think is, you can't put a number or a dollar sign on that. That's priceless and invaluable. And I think that's probably hard to measure in the long term, but I think that is something also to point out, that in the long run, that just is impactful beyond measure. And so I wanted to kind of call that out. I just thank you all I think you bring this every year, and it's really important for us to be reminded and the public reminded about this. And we just want to say to all the parents and caregivers and extended families trying to do what's best for children and in these challenging circumstances. We see you, we value, and just keep working and know that the community supports you. And we want to support our families because that's how our community thrives, is when we have thriving families. So thank you, Mr. Chair, and I look forward to reminding and seeing this next year, but keep up the great work. And you guys are boots on the ground, and we can't do this work without each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner Lorenda. County Manager Volker.
I'll keep it short. I guess I just want to make sure the public hears this is a child-first approach, that you work with both parents, the one that needs the payment and the one that needs to make the payment. And I think we heard from the woman who we called today. You are really a help to them. You do preserve families in the long run, because that relationship is really important when that child grows up and knows that both parents supported them in some way as best they could. I think that creates a very different environment for an adult going forward. So your work is hard. You do it every day, and it goes mostly unseen by most of us, certainly not the parents involved or the children. But thank you for what you do, and thank you for the child-first approach.
And thank you, Lorenda. I would simply add 3 exclamation points to what has been said, and also express to say thank you. So, with that, there is a proclamation on the table. There's a motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3-0, that passes. We will now pause for a couple of minutes to take a picture with the proclamation. And it is required that everyone who is here from Human Services, Office of Children, Youth, and Family, that you must participate in the photo. Okay, we're back. We have a proclamation lifting up the importance of child support and its role in helping children and families be successful, having some additional financial security and all of that. We took pictures, and now we're back. We have one more discussion item, and that discussion item is regarding the assumption of fire control duty for the Alexander Mountain Fire. And we have our Assistant County Manager. Welcome.
Thank you, Commissioners, and good morning. I'm here today to
And
take...
who are you?
Oh, thank you. I'm the Assistant County Manager, Lori Cadridge,
Thank you.
and I'm here today to take care of an administrative matter that occurred last week, and that has to do with the assumption of fire control duty. And as you all remember, last Wednesday at about 3:30 in the afternoon, you held a special meeting about the Alexander fire and considered two different resolutions. One was to declare fire restrictions in Larimer County, and the other was extending the local disaster emergency that occurred earlier in the week. During that meeting, Sheriff Fayen informed the commissioners that the management of the fire had been transferred to the state earlier that day. The sheriff had already approved the transfer. However, the state form required the Board of County Commissioners to sign. At that meeting, we discussed the importance of transferring the control of the fire to the state and avoiding any uncertainty about the timing of the transfer. The board decided to approve the transfer that day and also to schedule the item on today's agenda. While the board can act under emergency circumstances without giving 24 hours advance notice, we still wanted to bring this item back after giving our typical notice on an agenda. So in conclusion, I'm here today to present the document to you and describe its purpose. After any additional discussion by the board, I ask that you ratify the prior approval of the document and note that no additional signatures are needed today.
Thank you very much, Lori. Colleagues, do you have any questions, comments, observations regarding this discussion item? Commissioner?
I just want to thank Sheriff Feynman and Lori Hodges and you, Lori Cadrich, and our Lorenda Volker and our attorneys, Bill Rousseau and everyone, just for the exemplary job. There's a lot of technical and legal things we have to do for, signing this document to release these funds and the transfers, and just appreciate you kind of helping behind the scenes. It's a lot of behind the scenes work that never gets any recognition, but this is all very important, just as important sometimes with the firefighters digging the fire lines as we've had this amazing hot shit crews and National Guard helping all the way to the folks who make sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crosses, which is really important. And there's a lot involved with natural disasters and wildfires like this. And I just want to thank you for bringing this today, and just want to make sure publicly that it's been amazing. All I've heard is just the collaboration, the partnership, and the coordination between all people involved with this has been extraordinary. And I just want to commend everyone for a job well done, and thank you. We're not quite 100%, but it's certainly it's nice to see clear skies. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Commissioner. Commissioner Stevens, any thoughts?
Yeah, I would just extend my thanks to everybody who's been working on the fire. There's a lot of people that we know that are working on fire, including firefighters and the sheriff's office and the emergency office. And then there's other folks at the ranch who are accommodating animals and doing things. So this has been a team effort, a lot of jurisdictions involved, and we're just really grateful for everyone who played a role and just, just jumped right in to do the work. And so and we are grateful for the state and the federal government's support. I don't think we would be in the place we are without that. So I'm happy to support this motion.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'll just quickly add, I think this is in line with our efforts to be as open and transparent to the public. I mean, what we did last week, we were able to do, but I think this adds another, opens the window a little bit more, and that's important. So I appreciate you bringing this matter forward, Lori, Assistant County Manager, and certainly working with our County Attorney, Bill Rousseau, to make sure we're doing everything properly. So thank you. And of course, thanks to the firefighters and all the collaboration, all the partners who have gotten us to this point of, I believe, 74% containment of the fire, the Alexander Mountain Fire in Larimer County. and there does not appear to be growth in the acreage of the fire. So that's all good news. And as Commissioner Shattuck McNally said, it is nice to have skies that are at least a bit clearer than they were last week. So with that, there's a motion. I think it's Commissioner Stevens. I believe you're on.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move to ratify the board's prior approval of the transfer of control for the Alexander Fire to the state of Colorado as evidenced by the assumption of fire control duty form dated July 31st, 2024.
Great, proper motion. Thank you kindly. Any further comments or discussion, colleagues?
No.
Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
That passes 3-0. We have ratified our action taken last week. We are even more official. We'll now move on to county manager's update. And we are at the edges of our seats to hear your update.
Oh, my. I don't know that I have that kind of news. We did work as an administrative team last week, providing a lot of support for the EOC and the folks there. And so a lot of time was spent doing that work. But also, we all collectively participated in two pretty interesting events. One of them was the community meeting held at the Poudre School District early in the week, and then the Environmental Stewardship Awards, where we recognize the honorees. And I'll let you all speak more about that because those are your awards. But it is wonderful to see the way that the community comes together to provide feedback and good ideas, in some ways seen, in some ways pretty much invisible until they get nominated for an award. And so those are wonderful events that we all get to do. I also met with School Board Superintendent Brian Kingsley for our regular monthly meeting, got an update about school starting and heat issues and those kind of things. He's been coordinating closely, as has Thompson School District, with our health department on safe heat and how to determine when a school should not be opened or should be let out early, those kind of things around heat issues. So they're working on those things, and it's great to hear our health department is so involved and that they're engaging them in that way. And then finally, I met with District Attorney Gordon McLaughlin for our regular meeting. Good things are happening in his office, and we talked a bit about the budget, what to expect, some of the caseloads he has going on, the staffing that he's now got, I believe, fully staffed, and so that's quite an achievement as well. So I will leave it at that for this week.
Thanks. Thank you, Lorinda. Colleagues, any questions or feedback for our county manager? Okay, well, thank you. We'll now move into commissioner activity reports. I suppose, Commissioner Stevens, would you like to start?
Sure, I can start. Last week was the week that felt like a year. And we certainly all packed in a lot of things into that week. I'll mention a few things because I don't want to I have a laundry list of things that and we all have the same. So the Environmental Stewardship Awards were wonderful. We were able to give awards for recycling and picking up animal waste and other awards to community members who really embody that stewardship goal that we have for our community. And so it was a great event. I did want to highlight, some. So last week was definitely dominated, I would say, by fire and fair. But there were a lot of other things that happened during the week. And one of the things I wanted to mention was that Suzette Millette retired as the executive director of the North Front Range MPO. She had served in that role a couple different times, but for a total of 21 years. That's a big legacy. And there are a lot of transportation projects that might not have happened were she not at the helm, and a Van Go program that really takes vehicles off the road, and support for the I-25 project. And so she was a remarkable leader. It was pretty evident that that was the case, that she was not only a remarkable leader, but she did it in a way that was unassuming and brought people into the process. And so her retirement was packed. And it was great to see old friends and CDOT, but she has a ton of support. She will be missed, and we look forward to working with Paul Sizemore, the new executive director. But it was nice to see her off in a big way. I will say that on Wednesday, I was able to attend a program with Alianza Norco, and our Attorney General Phil Weiser was there. I think the immigrant community has some concerns, some with the upcoming elections, some with the state of the situation right now with immigration sort of being in the spotlight. And so I think that the Attorney General was there to sort of talk to people about what can be done legally, what can be done to protect people in our communities. It was a good conversation. There were other nonprofits there besides Alianza Norco, but really welcome that conversation about how do we take care of people in our community that are here, that are members of our that are residents, and that are contributing members to our community. And so we need to kind of, I think, all think about that is what the next few years look like with regard to making people feel welcome and safe in our community. Then I guess just to talk about the fair a little bit, we were kicked off with the Indigenous Blessing on Friday by Jan Iron and her family, beautiful dancing. We had the pancake breakfast on Sunday. We've had a few days of, this is the third day of rodeo. Yesterday was the sensory day at the fair, which is just a wonderful celebration. I guess the only other thing I want to bring up is on Sunday, we were all in attendance for the Adelante program that was done by Isaac. So the Adelante program was a program where young people, children of immigrants, could get job experience by doing paid internships with several different community nonprofits and businesses. And this is a program that Larimer County helped fund through workforce development. It's really successful program. These young people got skills to work in, got to learn about, how different operations and businesses and governments function, got that workforce experience. And so I think it's a great program. I think thank everybody who was involved in making sure that they got that grant, because I think it's very important to do workforce training for young people and people of color, and that sometimes these are kids that don't get those opportunities. And so it was really great to hear from the people who not only hosted them, but the young people themselves of how impactful that experience was. So I hope we can find ways to kind of support that kind of workforce development going forward. And I will just say, come to the last day of the fair. It's today. Enjoy and come see the rodeo tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Shattuck McNally.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So certainly was been a busy week for a lot of folks, and we've had a lot of activities, a lot of sectors and parts of our job that have been very active this week. From the moment the fire started, it was right outside my front window to watch it grow. And we were in a meeting on Monday when I got a text like, uh-oh, and got a picture. So I have was kind of on pins and needles all week whether we were going to evacuate or not. So it was not really appreciated. The governor and Congressman Neguse and the fire chiefs having me up on Tuesday and Wednesday, and a little bit on Thursday to come up and be at the command center and talk to some folks who have been impacted, and also just keeping a finger on that pulse the whole time. And it was heartbreaking. And so I've been talking to a lot of folks who've been evacuated and impacted, and trying to support where we can. It's been some of the important work that we do, because it's immediate and we have to move fast, but we also still have lots of other things happening as a county. And so one of those was the fair and rodeo, and we have been a lot of hard work. And the other thing that's happening is we hosted the Colorado, and I think it's Department of that DIOS, I'm not sure what that stands for, but we hosted the Rocky Mountain High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area for the Colorado, Montana, Utah, Wyoming Summit in Symposium, and I spoke at that in front of the group with Summit Stone. Actually was another person from Summit Stone, and her name is, forgot her first name, but it's Shattuck, which is interesting. We keep always asking whether we're related or not. But we presented on how it was at Longview Center and our Larimer County's Longview Acute Care Center. And so we were sharing that story and that history and talking about how the community collaborates in terms of opioid abatement and substance abuse and behavioral health and mental health. So it was really well received. I think we had a lot of great questions, and out the window we could see the fire at the same time. So we were discussing all of those things. It's really important work, and I appreciate the opportunity to share about the work that we do together here in those areas. And then we had the community meeting. I know it's been brought up before, but to meet with Poudre School District, and we had a lot of community leaders. The room was full. We had the city council and the school board and representatives and business leaders, people from the library. It was well and really important discussion as a community to talk about our schools and classrooms, and as you mentioned, the heat. In all the schools, in all the school districts, this happens in Thompson School for years. It's been something that even my children deal with, is that first part of school, and the teachers always have those thermometers, and knowing it's getting above 80 degrees, it's a little alarming. So it's important to think about that. And then I attended the press conference with the governor, came up and was able to talk with him and share with that with the press conference. We appreciate the work of the governor, the senators, and Congressman Neguse to get us our apply for those federal fundings and supporting us with declarations and things, and their partnership and their support has been invaluable and greatly valued and appreciated. We also I really appreciated the Environmental Stewardship Awards, and it was great to see on social media. They've been sharing some of on the trail conditions and some of the trail social pages. They were sharing about the gentleman who's been picking up dog waste and pet waste and giving a little bit of ribbing, but they were really appreciative of that he got an award. But they were like, well, why aren't they awarding you for this, what you do on trails and that on trails? So I wanted to just say that one of the gentlemen, it's not only for, I think it's great that he got recognized for that innovation, but it sounds like he does tremendous lot of work as a volunteer in the community on our trails. And I want to say thanks to him again. And the Estes Park with the recycling program and the recycling day and the stewardship program, just well done, and very proud of the work done in Estes Park. And we appreciate them so much, because it is making a huge difference. And then, of course, we had the Queen's barbecue and celebrating with the Queen and the scholarships. I believe she received a $6,000 scholarship last night from all those efforts. And I want to just thank Cora Fetzer for what job well done. All year I saw her on all these events, and she was hosting things and helping with fundraisers, and just a really great representative. And she's had a great, wonderful 2024 reign, and I appreciate the work that she does. I had a chance to talk with the Larimer County Biomass Strategy Group that's doing that $200,000 Department of Local Affairs grant we got to study on biomass. And we had a great discussion about the work and kind of what policymaker would like to see. And I appreciate the work that we're doing there as we're battling this wildfire, knowing how important mitigation work is, and the $4 billion of work we need to do at least once, if not twice, in our lifetimes to mitigate wildfire risk in the state of Colorado. And of course, a big chunk of change of that is going to be in Larimer County. And it's just we can't lose sight that we still have, even though this wildfire is over, we still have a lot of work to do. And the recovery started the day the fire started. The recovery started, and we have some recovery work to do as well. And so that's I just wanted to kind of keep that in the foremost of people's mind. I'm having my Forest Health Council meeting this week, and I'm sure this will be we're continuing to talk about this every 2 weeks of how we manage this. It's of course, we've had a lot going on with the fair and rodeo, all the events. We can talk about all the listings on all of the things that happened on Friday and Saturday, but I want to jump forward to Sunday morning when we had the pancake breakfast, because I believe it was a record-setting pancake breakfast. They're thinking between 12 and 1,500 people were served, including kids, because the amount of plates we went through. We never seem to run out of the sausage and ham, but this time we did, and a lot of pancakes. And I have to thank the Lions Club for their stellar job, and they shared their little secret ingredient is adding some 7-Up to the batter, so they're fluffier. So that's out. The secret's out, I guess. And I just thank them for their hard work, because we were all the way to the end. We were serving a lot of pancakes, and to all the volunteers And again, thanks to Congressman DeGoose to come serve pancakes and stuff. That was a nice surprise to have him show up. And then he went back up to the fire lines again. So he's been very present in Larimer County lately, and we appreciate that support. And I want to thank the Fair Board and the Rodeo Board on all the work they've done. They have the things they've done for the fair and rodeo is usually paramount and just so much work. And they're there all the time. I see them at 6:40 when I showed up at pancake breakfast. They were still there at the end of the rodeo at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night when I was getting ready to leave. Just smiles on their faces, just focused on the work. But on top of that, as has been mentioned before, they're helping with the evacuation efforts, offered their homes to families who needed to have places for their animals. And one of them I actually think was evacuated on that fair board. And so I just wanted to just give them a big shout out and say thanks for all the work they're doing. And yes, I agree. Commissioner Stevens, Adelante celebration was heartwarming and exciting, and the families were so proud. I think there's 18 graduates. That's grown from when it first started. They're thinking they can do cohorts of 20 going on, and certainly I think an important program that I know we're really proud to have supported financially, and I look forward to learning more of how we can help make this sustainable. And then we had the Fort Collins Human Library, and very interesting activity. That's where you can go and check out human books, and you check out the book, and you can sit down and listen to stories of that person's sharing their stories. And I think there was over 20 different human books to check out. It's something they've done last year. It's very interesting and very perspective and heart and mind opening to listen to folks. I listened to a gentleman who, when he was 11 and 14, his family got him off the Navajo reservation and got him into a different place to go learn. And his family is so focused on him to advance that he's now working on his PhD. And he studies how artifacts and older relics that we're looking to, they're kind of sometimes treated with high toxic pesticides. And so that's kind of where his focus is. And it was very fascinating. So I appreciated that opportunity. And then, of course, the rodeo, well done to the rodeo board. I think we've had 2 sold out nights. We've had some pretty high powered rodeo participants. National college athletes and nationally ranked folks. And again, congratulations for winning 2023 Mid-Sized Rodeo of the Year. Well done, well organized, and it's been a lot of fun to celebrate the veterans and the unsung heroes of 4-H leaders and students. And I look forward to the coronation tonight. And just again, thanks to Connor McGrath, our ranch director, all of his staff. Sensory Day was a lot of fun. I rode the Ferris wheel with some folks and had some great conversations with the youth. And I happened to run into the CSU Extension State Governing Board or Advisory Board, and they were touring our fair to kind of look at and see how our fair looks. And they were just blown away looking at the quilts and some of the exhibits. And it was great to have that conversation with them. So I look forward to the last evening of the rodeo. Please come out and check it out. It's just amazing what's out there. And I've heard from so many folks that are having such a blast. And just kudos to everyone involved and all the volunteers. We couldn't do that without each and every person who has a hand on this. This is why it's such a award-winning and fabulous time for our community. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So I'll just focus on 2 things that I participated in yesterday. Otherwise, I don't think I need to repeat some of what's been said. I think some things we all attend, some things some of us attend, and it's all important. Yesterday, there was mentioned a sensory day, and my wife and I and 2 of our grandkids and a friend attended, and they genuinely had a really good time. And I think that's actually a great thing that we've started with the fair and rodeo. And for those who may wonder, Sensory Day is basically 2 hours. The rides in the carnival are free. It's really focused on individuals who have sensory issues, could be on the autism spectrum, perhaps persons with other kinds of disabilities. And it's just a really nice time. And so that was great. Very grateful to the staff for coming up with that idea. We also have a sensory room, I believe, at the ranch that folks should know about. If the noise is too much, it helps those of us who have difficulty with that. The only other thing I'll share is at the rodeo last night, it was really wonderful to invite George and Nancy Wallace to sit with us. We had 7 ticket seats, thanks to the ranch folks, Connor. But it was just a lot of fun to hang out with them and talk about things, and we were able to come up with a good idea, I think, to present a photograph that we framed rather than a plaque, because they've already gotten plenty of plaques. Anyway, they genuinely like that. I think George really enjoyed that picture, so that was good. That was a good thing. That's all I have, and so I'd like to move on. We have legal matters. We don't expect to make a decision. Therefore, once we go into executive session with the proper motion, we will not be returning. And so with that, I think Commissioner Shattuck McNally, I believe it's your turn. Please offer the motion if you would be kind enough to do so.
I move that the Larimer County Board of County Commissioners move into executive session pursuant to Colorado Revised Statute 24-6-402 4B, conferences with an attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice about potential eminent domain proceedings for the Taft Hill Road widening project.
Thank you, Commissioner. A proper motion. Any further discussion? I don't think so. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3-0. We'll now go into executive session for legal matters. No decision is expected. We'll sign off in a moment, and we wish everyone a good and pleasant and safe day. Thank you.